Kathleen Wynne, happy Pride.
Thank you so much, Maurie. It's great to be here, and happy Pride to everyone at KISS 92.5.
Thank you so much. Every year you and I talk about Pride, and every year Pride takes on a whole new meaning and a whole new life, and it means different things to different people. This year, what does Pride mean to you?
First of all, I think in the shadow of Orlando and what happened at the Pulse Bar in Orlando, I think it's really clear why we need Pride, and that question comes up every year. People say, well, why do you need a parade? Why Pride? And I think it's very, very clear that our work is not done as a globe, as an international community. We have to keep celebrating diversity. We have to keep making it clear that we all have to find a way to love each other. We're going to have a prime minister and a mayor and the premier all marching in the Pride Parade in the biggest city in the country. That's a pretty cool thing. And so that, for me, is what Pride 2016 is about, too.
With the recent horrible situation in Orlando and in Los Angeles, thank God they stopped that. There are people who may not be comfortable coming out because of those. It's still okay to come out, isn't it?
Absolutely, absolutely. And in some ways, it's even more important that we come out. It's even more important that we come out and make it clear that we're not going to be afraid. We're not going to shut down because a horrible thing happened. And I know that just in practical terms, the Pride Committee has been working with the police officials, and they're going to do everything in their power to make sure that the venue is safe. We live in the best country in the world. We live in the best province in the best country in the world. And so we are so lucky that we live in a place where we can come and be part of this.
I've been going to the Pride Parade for as long as I can remember, but this is the first year where I'm nervous, I'm scared. And because of all of the situations going on in the world.
Yeah.
Let me just
tell you a story. When I was first the premier, so this will be the third year that I will march in the parade as the premier. The first year, there were people who said, you will be more of a target and maybe you shouldn't march in the parade, And there were conversations about whether there would be threats or not. And I just said, no, I am going to do this. I am going to walk in this parade. If we can't do it in Ontario, then where can we do it? And so that's why it's important to me. So I will be there. I will be marching in the parade. And I am confident that we will be safe.
That's great to hear. When you're walking on the parade, what is something that makes you smile as you're walking down Toronto Pride?
Well, two things. I just love the full range of people who are on the sidelines. It's literally a rainbow of people and emotions and faces, and they're young and they're old and they're from every different background. I love it. It is just such a wonderful sight. The thing that brings a tear to my eye is the P flag, the reception that P flag gets, because parents and friends of lesbians and gays, this is a group that basically provides surrogate parenting for people who don't have that, people whose families have rejected them, or people whose families are supporting them and they are building support. It's a wonderful, wonderful organization. And so those allies are really, they're one of the things about Pride that makes me smile.
How has Pride changed for you over the years? We look at Pride Toronto this year versus, maybe years ago when you first did it. How has Pride changed?
Well, I came out when I was 37. So, I was older than a lot of people, and certainly my partner Jane, she was involved right at the beginning when Pride was just starting. It was a few hundred people. It's changed in that I feel more comfortable. I feel much more a part of it, and I feel like now I'm one of those old dykes that everyone looks at and says, she's been around forever and she knows the ropes. Because when I first started coming to the parade, I started coming actually before I came out. I would come with Jane and her former partner, And I didn't necessarily feel comfortable. I didn't necessarily, just as you said before, I was new and I wasn't sure exactly how to interact or where to be or how to be. But now I feel like I'm one of the people who needs to be that symbol for other people and other kids and create safety for them. And not that I set myself up as a role model, but just because I'm there, it's important for people to know that that it's okay for them to be there too.
Last couple of questions for you. Every year there's arguments, the Pride Parade is so long. There's many different companies and organizations, and what do you have to say to those people that argue with who should be in the parade?
So are you talking about the sponsorship issue or
sponsorship? Black Lives Matter. There's always somebody who's not happy with somebody in the parade.
Yeah. So from my perspective, that's the human condition. Mm-hmm. There's always going to be a debate about who's in, who's out. There's a debate about whether there should be private sponsorships or not. Quite frankly, I think the more people we can bring into the tent, the more people that we can expose to a beautiful, diverse celebration, the better. I don't think that we should ever condone hatred, or we should ever condone groups that are promoting hatred. I think that's not what Pride is about. But groups and individuals who are promoting inclusion and finding ways to improve social justice and improve our society and make it work better and work better in all its diversity, we should be embracing everyone who's interested in that, whether they are a corporation or whether they're a grassroots activist group.
Let's end on this. Tell everybody why this Pride is more important than any other Pride and why we should be there.
This Pride is important because we are still living in a world where there is discrimination, where there's violence, and where there's hatred. And it's our job, all of us who can be safe, to be out declaring that it's okay to be who you are.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, and
Thanks.
Happy Pride as always.
Happy Pride.